Hi friends, I figured we'd all be really busy tomorrow, so I just wanted to pop on here today to real quickly wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope that wherever you are and whatever your plans, that you're surrounded by all the people you love. And I hope that you take a moment to count your blessings, and that it would take more than a moment because you would be that blessed. I know that I am really thankful for all of you. I'm so thankful that you're following this channel, that you're trying out my recipes, that you give us those thumbs up and leave comments, and especially that you have subscribed to this channel, because this past weekend we hit 100,000 subscribers, and we just our minds are blown. It's just so exciting. So thank you so much for subscribing. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that that was going to happen. When I first started this channel, it was just for fun. It was during the COVID pandemic of 2020 when we were told to shelter in place, and I just thought sharing recipes from my house would make other people feel like they were here and that we could swap recipes and we wouldn't feel so isolated. Little did I know that things were just going to sort of take off from there. So we're just so incredibly thankful. And I just want to give all glory to God, because without Him, this wouldn't be possible. And everything good in my life is because He has allowed it. He has blessed me with a wonderful husband who just happens to be a professional cameraman. I don't know too many people who would have a husband willing to shoot these videos on their day off and then edit them on their other day off and basically give up all their free time the way Tony has. So I'm so thankful for him as well. As we were watching the numbers climb, we were thinking, wow, this really could happen before the end of the year. And then we thought, we kept seeing the numbers climb, and we thought, oh my gosh, it may happen in time for Christmas. And lo and behold, it happened before Thanksgiving. So wow, that is just so incredibly amazing. We were trying to think of a way to sort of celebrate that would involve all of you. And we wanted to do some sort of giveaway. I thought maybe we would make those t-shirts that we had talked about one time that say Chili Snob, and I could give out 100 t-shirts, but I'm thinking the shipping costs alone might do me in. So I need to sort of think of that a little more. But I did reach out to my daughter, and I asked her if she could come up with the design for me. And I'm going to do some sort of giveaway. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that, but stay tuned for that. Anyway, tomorrow we have been invited to one of my sisters for Thanksgiving, and I've been asked to bring the homemade dinner rolls. So I'm going to be making that. And I've shared that recipe before, but that was early on in the channel when not too many people were watching. So I'm probably going to include that at the end of this video in case you're interested, because they really are good. And I'm also going to make a 4-in-1 holiday pie that I saw on Instagram. It sort of went viral, so I'm going to give it a shot, and if it works, I'll post pictures on my Instagram for you to see. But anyway, I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. I hope you are too. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe out there, and maybe wear those stretchy pants. This is a really easy recipe that you can make within about 2.5 to 3 hours start to finish. But because I know how hectic things can get on Thanksgiving Day, you can actually make this dough up to 3 days in advance and refrigerate it. And I'll explain more on that as we go along. But right now, let's go over the ingredients. You're going to need 2 cups warm water, 1 tablespoon active dry yeast, 1 tablespoon sugar, 2 teaspoons kosher salt, 1 tablespoon olive oil, and 5.5 cups all-purpose flour. I'm also going to sprinkle just a little bit of flaky sea salt on top, just to kind of up the wow factor. You can also use poppy seeds, but that's optional. And then I'm going to make an egg wash, and for that all you need is 1 egg and about a tablespoon of milk or water. Either works just the same. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using my stand mixer with a dough hook, but you can also do this by hand. First, I'm going to put 2 cups lukewarm water in my mixing bowl. You don't want it too hot because it'll kill the yeast. You just want it warm to the touch. I'll add the active dry yeast and the sugar and mix it just enough to where it dissolves. Then I'm going to let it stand for 5 minutes. If it doesn't get frothy like this, then you've got some expired yeast, so throw it away and get some fresh one. This one, however, is perfect, so I'm going to mix in the kosher salt and 1 tablespoon olive oil and give it a quick stir. Then I'm going to add 5 cups of flour to it, leaving the remaining flour for later, and I'm going to set the mixer to low speed. Once it's fully mixed, I'm going to increase the speed to medium-low and add in the remaining flour just a couple of tablespoons at a time. The reason I'm doing it like this is because I may not need it all, or I may need more. What I'm looking for is for the dough to form a ball that is tacky but not sticky. Now I'm going to put plenty of flour onto a clean, flat surface and place my dough on there so I can begin kneading by hand. So I'm going to continue to knead this until it's no longer quite as sticky. There's no danger of over kneading when you do this by hand. And that should be pretty good right there. Looks great. Once it's a nice smooth consistency, I'll place it in an oiled bowl and cover it with plastic wrap. There's all sorts of ways you can make your dinner rolls a little fancier. For instance, I wanted to put in some freshly chopped rosemary because I had rosemary growing in my garden this year, but it just didn't survive the Arizona heat this summer, which I thought was kind of odd because I see rosemary growing in these giant bushes when I take my dog for a walk. In fact, I was tempted to clip some were it not for the fact that I see what dogs do to those bushes. And as it turns out, the rosemary that is used in landscaping is actually different from the rosemary that we use in cooking, so it all worked out for the best because heaven knows I wouldn't want to poison anyone. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this in a warm place and let it rise for about an hour. The dough easily doubled in size in that time, but depending on where you live, you may need to allow more rising time. Now I'm going to punch the dough and quickly knead it on a lightly floured surface to form a smooth ball, but I won't be adding any more flour than this. If you were planning on making your dough in advance, it's at this point that you would take it, wrap it tightly in plastic wrap, and put it in the refrigerator for up to 3 days. Then when you're ready to use it, you just take it out, let it come to room temperature on its own, and then you could start working with it. But since I'm going to be making these rolls today, I'm just going to continue on. I'm going to cut my dough into equal portions that are going to become my individual rolls. To do that, I simply cut the dough in half and then continue to cut those pieces in half and so on. Those look pretty equally portioned, so now I'm just going to make them into my rolls. With all the pieces equally portioned, you roll them into balls. You can do this however you'd like, just make sure the top is smooth. I'm just putting the ugly side on bottom. Before placing them onto a cookie sheet, lightly grease it. You can even sprinkle a little cornmeal onto the greased cookie sheet, but this is optional. Then you have to decide if you want these to be pull-apart rolls or you want them to stand perfectly on their own, because that will determine how closely you place them. I want these to be pull-apart rolls, so I'm putting them almost to where they're touching each other because they're going to rise and get bigger. If you want them to stand alone, you would separate them and leave at least an inch between your rolls. Once you've got them set, cover them once again and let them rise in a warm place half an hour more. You can see that they really grew. Now if you want to dress them up a bit, you can cut a slice across the top with a sharp knife or just leave them alone. I'll do it both ways so you can decide for yourself. Then I'm going to brush an egg wash over them. This is just 1 egg with about a tablespoon of milk whisked together. But you can also use water instead of milk. And you want to lightly brush the egg wash over the top of each roll, being careful not to puncture them. I'll take some flaky sea salt and sprinkle a tiny bit over the top because again, we're trying to increase the wow factor. And you can also do this with poppy seeds if you prefer. And finally, we can bake them in the oven at 425 for 10 to 15 minutes until they're golden brown. Wow, that smells good. Look at that. These dinner rolls came out so perfect. I can already tell they're really soft on the inside just by what it does when I press down on them. And also the two different options, the one with the slit cut across and the ones left plain, are really both beautiful. Right now though, I want to cut into one of them so we can see how light and fluffy they are on the inside. See how that would be so perfect for Thanksgiving because it's just going to soak up the gravy or whatever other goodness you have on your plate. But right now I'm just going to put some butter on it and we'll give it a try. There is nothing like homemade rolls. If you make these for Thanksgiving, they will be a hit. Thanks so much for checking out my video. I'll be sharing more recipes perfect for Thanksgiving in the weeks to come, so be sure to subscribe, like, and click the notification bell so you don't miss them. You can also follow me at Marcy Inspired on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, blessings from my kitchen to yours.